I would like to send this message to any English-speaking person to actually demonstrate how quickly I can actually make a reaction from German to English. This will also be a attestation to my English proficiency. I want to actually demonstrate I really don't mind. It's really easy. I don't really need to think about anything. Yeah, the pollution, environmental protection, yes, but we actually protect the environment, but not actually at the cost of our jobs, by risking our job places. Okay, let's try to actually see how quickly I can actually speak this in English. Let's try to actually see that. I don't really need to. The U.S. President Donald Trump has already defended his course changes during his regime ruling in terms of the environment and the climate politics. And he has already expressed his unconditional and unwavering and intransigent desire to create the economic well-being of the people in the United States. Earlier regimes, as a precedent regimes and presidents, truly could have actually done more in terms of actually bringing more for clean energy by punishing the energy sectors and offering lesser job chances for them, by putting the entire land on the right track for environmental preservation and protection. That could have actually made the entire world much, much cleaner. But this could actually never be done from his own ruling, because he wants to fight for the entire community sector, protecting the job providers. He said that Donald Trump announced that on Monday in Washington. Please forgive my pronunciation. To prevent any type of misunderstanding, I accentuated the time tense verbs. And this would actually be the wrong way. One very strong economy would be decisive for the intact environmental protection. From his perspective, even at the cost of pursuing this job protection, he probably finally envisioned how he could actually make this environment much prettier and cleaner. But the problem is, the previous presidents had already failed to keep the environment clean, even by sacrificing many different job places and punishing the workers in energy sectors as industry culprits. This had so far remained nothing, according to his estimation. So he just actually says that at this moment. He announced it on Monday in Washington. One very powerful economy would actually be a decisive point for the intact environment. His regime fights for the very clean environment each day. And this would also be, meanwhile, simultaneously loyal to the American workers by protecting and fighting for their jobs. He just really wants to catch two birds with one stone. He says that the previous regime's trial to keep this economy thriving and the environmental safe, that have been completely failed, because the environmental protection has almost had a bad consequential effect on the economy, by removing jobs out of the job market, by actually punishing regular workers in the coal industry. But the strong economy would be a devastating issue to prove its absolute divinity by providing more resources for environmental saving as well as job protecting. That would be a sovereign right for each and every American citizen. How about that? We actually want clean energy. We want clean air. We want glass clean, almost so transparent, so crystal clean water. Donald Trump announced and said that SAID. These would actually be from the beginning one of the highest priority of his regime that has been dominated as the greatest priorities to be the number one, topping the list ever since the beginning of his inauguration, starting from 2017. The country has already made enormous progress during his office as his presidency has been on. His administration loses almost nothing by leaving their own attention away from the economy. The economy still remains as firm as the number one priority. Above all, Donald Trump defended the meaning of a retreat coming from the United States as the climate disruptor, which has been crystallized by leaving this climate treaty in Paris, because the United States had already left this deal by signing off from the climate change and protection agreement, which it had already unleashed full of misunderstanding and irritation and angry from all different international communities to be confounded with such an irrational act by the United States, right? This treaty would be unfair and extremely difficult and expensive and costly for the United States. This would have been actually very difficult if that had ever been enforced on the United States. If the United States would have followed this condition by remaining in the Paris Treaty, then this would have cost so much a greater amount of money that could have been used for protecting jobs that had been said by Donald Trump. And he said that the regime from Donald Trump's president of the United States, Barack Obama, had made one's own immediate retreat from the coal or earth gas to actually make a greater focus on renewable energy development, including the earth gas and the wind and solar energy. He had led an immediate transition by making a U-turn from the dirty coal to dive into the new renewable energy, including the earth gas and the wind and solar energy. He had led that during his presidency as a president of the United States, right? Donald Trump follows, however, the completely different way by doing about face from the time of the Obama era, right? First thing, he actually demonstrated the climate change as a concept from China to make the United States incompetent by dampening the great fervor of the America's progress set by the conspiracy theory of the United States. That's really crazy, right? And it's really funny. And in 2017, Trump truly left the deal by representing the United States to be a renegade of the greatest agreement that could ever be made by developed countries to lower down the actual emissions by the greenhouse as a worldwide recognized work. So under his leadership, the United States left the Paris Agreement. Once more, it had been mentioned. I don't really understand why would they repeat the same thingy. And the Trump administration, ever since then, has been actually distancing itself further away by taking more and more measures, even up to this moment, by actually removing themselves pretty much slackened from any type of efforts to crack down on the emissions of the CO2 and the greenhouse gas. They just really don't want anything to do with the legacy and the heritage coming from the Obama era by removing and backtracking and backpedaling any type of emissions or lowering protections from the Obama era. Literally, his EPA backtracked so many different legacies and policies coming from the Obama era. Legacies policies, right? Experts criticize that sharply by saying that this would have put our entire planet in danger.